Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video tonight there is lots to negotiate about. So, according to reports from the Italian press, they have recently said that Manchester United are open to swapping Paul Pogba for Adrian Rabiot in the summer transfer window. Now, I think I negotiated this with you a couple of weeks ago. Adrian Rabiot has attracted interest from quite a few clubs. Obviously, we've been in for him. Arsenal have also been in for him, and also too Everton have been in for Adrian Rabiot. I think the other week it did reveal that Everton Adrian Rabiot had negotiations, with Carlo Ancelotti. Now, Adrian Rabiot is a cheap solution, disregarding any swap deal, he would be available for around 25 or 26 million. Adrian Rabiot has endured a very, very difficult time with Juventus. This has actually, been his first season with Juventus, because obviously, Juventus got him last summer on a free transfer. I think he did sign, was it a 4-year deal with Juventus? He has got a contract with Juventus until 2023. Also, reports came out quite a few weeks ago, like I mentioned, and it allegedly said that Adrian Rabiot told Juventus that he was going on strike and he was refusing that to return to training, but actually, Adrian Rabiot had laughed these rumours off. But I do think, Juventus are looking to offload him. Adrian Rabiot is in his mid-20s and he's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder. But Adrian Rabiot he's failed to rediscover the form, of what he did, produce when he was at PSG, because analysing it, Adrian Rabiot did spend the vast majority of his career with PSG. He was at PSG for several years, and, he won around 18 major honours with Paris Saint-Germain, did Adrian Rabiot on that. But I think when he was at PSG, we was also interested in signing him. Juventus, of course, have got quite a few players in on free transfers in recent years. Like I mentioned, they got Adrian Rabiot last summer. They also got Aaron Ramsey last summer. They did get Emre Can as well on a free transfer from Liverpool, but obviously, now Emre Can is at Borussia Dortmund. But Juventus, looking to offload quite a few players. I think they're looking to offload Federico Bernadeshi. Aaron Ramsey, maybe they could offload him. There's been obviously rumours of Matty Stilic possibly leaving in that. But Juventus have actually, offered us quite a few of their players, to try and get Paul Pogba and that. So yeah, we are open, to letting Paul Pogba go, but we do want Adrian Rabiot as part of the deal. But I do not see this swap deal materialising, because, swap deals have been on the agenda, but, swap deals are very, very rare in the modern game. I updated you about Paul Pogba on my video that I did this morning. And obviously, it said, that Real Madrid are actually no longer interested in Paul Pogba, because they don't obviously want to pay his 15 million a year wage demands. So that's a stumbling block, actually, of Paul Pogba leaving the football club. The main explanation why they don't want to pay him £15 million a year is because they fear a wage row with, Casemiro and Sergio Ramos. So if they would give Paul Pogba 15 million a year, then obviously, Real Madrid would have problems with them players. Now, of course, Real Madrid have been relentlessly linked with Paul Pogba. Don't forget, there was relentlessly linked with him last summer. But don't forget, last summer we wanted around £180 million for Paul Pogba, and Real Madrid were not willing to meet that valuation. So basically, we was demanding just over double than what we paid for him from Juventus, back in 2016, because we did pay £89 million for him. But last summer, Paul Pogba's preference was to make a move to Real Madrid. Because Paul Pogba did say last summer that he wanted to leave Manchester United, and he actually said he was seeking for a new challenge, and even publicly admitted that he wanted to leave the football club. Real Madrid, like I mentioned, did recruit a good 6 players in last summer, and I think they nearly spent £300 million on them. Like I said, they got Eden Hazard in, they got Luka Jovic. They also got Ferland Mendy, Rodrigo, Eder Militao. Real Madrid, don't forget, have lost quite a few of their imperative players in recent years as well. But they're looking to do more business when the transfer market does open, Obviously, they're looking to get rid of players as well. I think they're looking to get rid of Dani Ceballos on a permanent transfer. They're also looking to get rid of Gareth Bale. Karim Benzema's coming to an end of his career. They're not happy with Luka Jovic. Don't forget, they're looking to get rid of James Rodriguez around Madrid. So looking to offload quite a few of their players. But I did say if Paul Pogba does leave Manchester United, I think he will go back to Juventus. Because like I said, Paul Pogba enjoyed 4 exceptional years at Juventus. But the vast majority of his performances at Man United since he rejoined have been totally comparison to his ones at Juventus. Now, like I updated you recently, the stories that have been coming out regarding Paul Pogba is that Real Madrid have reportedly offered up to 4 of their players to try and get Paul Pogba. And the names that got mentioned was Martin Odegaard, Brahim Diaz, James Rodriguez, and Lucas Vazquez. They're the 4 players that Real Madrid are willing to offer us, to try and get Paul Pogba. But like I said, Paul Pogba was talking a lot about Real Madrid last year, about his, dreams of playing under Zinedine Zidane and all of that. And obviously, Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, he's held talks with Real Madrid. It also revealed not too long ago that Mini Raiola had been back in discussions with Juventus because Mini Raiola has been working on getting his client a transfer away from Man United completed, at least in the last couple of years or so, because Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. But we've been very, very critical of Mini Raiola, reflecting on some of the comments he had said since the turn of the year. I also do believe that Ed Woodward has had negotiations with Mini Raiola. But I still think, Paul Pogba will stay at Manchester United for next season. I can't fully assure it, but me, personally, I think he will stay at Man United for next season. But I'm not too sure about the foreseeable future. I actually do believe Paul Pogba's career at Manchester United can be saved. With him, Paul Pogba's career at Manchester United can be saved. If he can form a good partnership with Bruno Fernandes in our midfield, because Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes have not yet had the chance to play together in our midfield, but I do believe they will complement each other fantastically well. Obviously, with them playing in our midfield, you'd have Bruno Fernandes in the number 10, which is his predominant position, and you'd have Paul Pogba in the number 6, or you'd have Paul Pogba in the number 8. Paul Pogba has got, a year left on his Manchester United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for the further year. Whether we extend it for the further year or not, I do not know. We have said if we sell Paul Pogba this summer that we do want £100 million, because in reality he's worth at least £100 million, is Paul Pogba. And I said it's very imperative that we get more than what we paid for him, definitely. The positive is now, though, regarding Pogba. He is back from his ankle injury. Because Paul Pogba has been injured quite a few times throughout the course of this season. His appearances have been limited. He's only played 8 times this season for the football club. And like I said, the last time Paul Pogba played was our 4-1 win against Newcastle on Boxing Day. And the last time he started from the start was back in September. So his appearances, have been limited at the football club. Don't forget, Teddy Sheringham was recently, he recently gave his verdict on Pogba, and Teddy Sheringham is a club legend, and he actually, said that Paul Pogba needs to go. And he said, Manchester United need to find a replacement, with the right mentality and desire. But he did say, that Paul Pogba is lacking the Roy Keane factor, So probably Teddy Sheringham believes that, we can do better than Pogba. There hasn't only been Real Madrid and Juventus that have been in for him, don't forget in recent weeks and that, likes of PSG have been in for him. I said for PSG to get him, they'd either have to offload Mbappe or Neymar, who are the 2 most expensive players in the world. Don't forget Inter Milan have also been in for him. Barcelona have been in for him before as well. But there you go. But I think now actually Paul Pogba is keen on staying at Manchester United because he is aware of the impact that Bruno Fernandes has made. It hasn't really mentioned about Paul Pogba wanting to stay at the club. I know, I think Solskjaer, wants Pogba to stay at the club. Before the football season got suspended, Solskjaer, did actually, say that Paul Pogba will remain at Manchester United next season and that, And like I said, Paul Pogba endured a very, very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era. But, Jose Mourinho's got a bad reputation with the top players anyway. We had Paul Pogba when he was a lot younger, back under the Alex Ferguson era. But obviously, we had to let him go due to limited appearances and that. I think that's a mistake, that Manchester United did make. Pogba is 27, by the way, now, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. But if he does leave the football club, then obviously there's been a few players on our agenda who could replace him. Maybe Jack Grealish to Manchester United as well. Could depend on what happens with Paul Pogba. But yeah, so we're open, to this swap deal happening between Paul Pogba and Adrian Rabiot on that. So yeah, so that is the latest news on him. As you all know as well, Rashford's now back. He's back from his back injury, so when the season resumes, Rashford's going to be back. But we've got a fully fit squad anyway. Now, I just want to give you some latest news on Federico Bernadeshi from Juventus. I want to give you some latest news on him because these huge developments on him. So I was reading reports not too long ago, and this was stemming from Gazzetta dello Sport, which is an Italian publication, and they have said that if Federico Bernadeshi does decide to leave Juventus, he wants to make a move to the Premier League. But a decision will be made on his future at the end of the season. Now, Gazzetta dello Sport have mentioned that we're interested in Federico Bernadeshi. There's been talks about him coming as part of a top deal with Pogba, don't forget. Also, too, it mentions that Arsenal are interested in him, and so too Chelsea are interested in Federico Bernadeshi. Now, I think this has been Federico Bernadeschi's third season with Juventus. He has got a contract with Juventus until 2022 because, when Juventus did sign him, he did sign a 5-year deal. Juventus did pay around £35 million for him from Fiorentina back in 2017, And he actually, began his footballing career with Fiorentina. I think he was in their youth setup for a good 10 years. And I think he enjoyed 4 years in their senior squad. Federico Bernadeshi is in his mid-20s. I think he's 26 years of age. His versatility is very, very good. You can play him you can play him as an attacking midfielder. You can also play him as a winner. I think actually Federico Bernadeshi is predominantly a winger. I think he's also been deployed as a box-to-box midfielder in that. Like I said, he'd probably be a good alternative to Jadon Sancho. So if we didn't get Jadon Sancho on the board, then he'd be a good alternative would Federico Bernadeshi. Plus, he would be a much cheaper solution in that. So, maybe you could get Federico Bernadeshi, for maybe 30 or 40 odd million pounds, but a much cheaper solution than Jadon Sancho. So, yeah, there is quite a few clubs that are in for the player. I think he's got around 20 caps for Italy as the player. So, would you take Federico Bernadeshi at Manchester United? So if he leaves Juventus, he does want to come to the Premier League because he's not yet played in the Premier League. Now, I want to give you some news on Jude Bellingham from Birmingham. Manchester United have been warned from Pep Cloyter, who was the Birmingham boss, that more clubs will attract their interest in Jude Bellingham. Now, as you all know, Jude Bellingham is one of our priority targets. Now, like I updated you not too long ago, these reports were stemming from Germany, and they said that Jude Bellingham has reached an agreement with Borussia Dortmund, and it said, he has rejected a move to Manchester United. This is what it had said. But a couple of months ago, reports were stemming from the German press saying that Borussia Dortmund are emerged as the favourites to sign Jude Bellingham. Now, don't forget, quite a few weeks ago, I think it was now, it did say, we've made a promise to Jude Bellingham if he signs for the football club in the summer transfer window. It says, we will immediately make him a first-team player. So we've obviously, offered him a senior role. Now, Jude Bellingham is going to cost in the excess of £30 million, maybe a bit more than £30 million, because this is what Birmingham are demanding. Now, there's been a few clubs that have been in for Bellingham. Chelsea have also been in for him as well. Don't forget, back in March, obviously, earlier on this year, Jude Bellingham had visited our Carrington training ground. Obviously, to hold talks with Sir Alex Ferguson, and obviously, Ed Woodward had negotiations with his parents as well. So that did, fuel some speculation up. Now, Jude Bellingham, to this point, has spent the entirety of his career with Birmingham. This has been his first season in the senior squad with Birmingham. Like I said, he became the youngest player to represent Birmingham. He made his senior debut at the age of 16 years and 38 days. And I think he's played around 30 odd games this season in all competitions, so he has played persistently as Jude Bellingham. At the moment, his salary is 145 quid a week, but when he turns 17 next month, he will be signing his professional contract. He did also mention quite a few weeks ago that we want to get Jude Bellingham's brother as part of the deal. His brother is Joe Bellingham, and he is just the age of 15, but Jude Bellingham's only 16 years of age himself. Some people say he needs another season in the Championship because maybe he's not, he's not Premier League standard at the moment, and he's still, inexperienced in that, So I don't know if, we are going to get Jude Bellingham, but we've been warned that more clubs are going to attract their interest in him because Pep Cloyter, the Birmingham boss, has been recently talking about Jude Bellingham, how happy he is at Birmingham and that. So that is the latest news on that. Now, obviously, you know the ongoing situation with Odi and Ighalo. I've been talking with you about Odi and Ighalo on a regular basis. Now, obviously, we've got to reach an agreement with Shanghai Shenhua by tomorrow if, we do want to keep Odi and Ighalo at the football club. Because Odi and Ighalo's loan at the football club does expire tomorrow and that. And I think, we are still in negotiations with Shanghai Shenhua. Now, don't forget Odi and Ighalo has revealed that he wants to stay at Manchester United, and obviously, Solskjaer wants to keep him at the football club because Solskjaer, was speaking about Odi and Ighalo earlier on this week. Now, don't forget Odi and Ighalo did say that he's willing to risk a 75 million contract with Shanghai Shenhua to obviously, remain at Manchester United until the end of the season. But the positive is that Shanghai Shenhua have recently softened their stance, and they are willing to let Ighalo extend his loan at Man United until January, providing that he does sign this 2-year deal that they've offered him worth £400,000 a week and that. Now, I don't know what's going on, whether he stays or whether he goes and that. United fans have got different verdicts on Odi and Ighalo. Obviously, Shanghai Shenhua have said that they want around £20 million to let Odi and Ighalo go permanently, but we may have reservations about paying £20 million to get him permanently. Now, like I said, we got him in on January deadline day. We paid around £4 million to get him on loan. And at the moment, I think we are paying like a third of his wages. But Odi and Ighalo's agent came out earlier on this week, and he did actually say that Ighalo is close to agreeing a contract extension with Manchester United. And like I mentioned, Ighalo has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. He's got 4 goals in 3 starts for the club and that. He has been, a very, very good cover-up to Marcus Rashford as Ighalo. And of course, he is a lifelong Man United fan, and, he is an option of a different type of centre-forward. But we'll know the outcome tomorrow. We really, really will in that. But we've got to come to an agreement with Shanghai Shenhua. I think Manchester United need to recommend a striker in any way. And, there has been a lot of strikers on our agenda in that. Joshua King, he's been on our agenda. Erling Haaland, it's a shame that we didn't get him in January because he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. There was talks about Harry Kane coming last month. Timo Werner, he's also been another striker on our agenda. Moussa Dembele. I give you the news on Moussa Dembele yesterday and that. So there's been a lot of strikers on our agenda and that, But overall, there's a lot of players on our agenda anyway. Solskjaer, does want to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer transfer window because he believes we need around 3 or 4 signings to become title contenders next season and that. Now, obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty for the summer transfer window because, like I mentioned, a lot of clubs are going to face an unprecedented summer transfer window, due to, the financial issues in that. But I think we can enjoy the perfect summer transfer window. I really, really do think we can. We can enjoy the perfect summer transfer window and that. Now, Don't forget, we'd recently, taken a £140 million loan from our £150 million revolving credit facility. So the main explanations for this is so it can help us get through the coronavirus crisis, and also too to help us fund moves in the summer transfer window. So maybe with us loaning this £140 million, taking this £140 million loan, it may help us get the players that we want in the summer transfer window. Now, don't forget, our debt had risen up by almost 130 million, and our net debt now in total is around 429 million pounds, and that, and like Ed Woodward mentioned on the statement the other week, he's confirmed that the coronavirus has cost us around 28 million pounds, but we do expect the final figure to be higher. But the first 18 days of lockdown, I think it did cost us around 23 million pounds or something like that. Ed Woodward did say last month that we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market. This is what he said, Ed Woodward. So in that aspect, he ruled out big transfers to Man United, and he did say, we won't be spending hundreds of millions of pounds. But Woodward's been talking a lot anyway. Don't forget, before it came out that we'd taken a £140 million loan, it did say that Solskjaer's transfer limit had been set, and it said Ed Woodward was privately reluctant to spend any more than 60 or 70 million pounds on any player in that, And like I said, we're going to be getting rid of players in the summer transfer window. We're going to get rid of around 5, 6, maybe even 7 players in the summer transfer window. So we are going to generate money that way anyway. I've got an idea, the players we're going to get rid of in the summer. But there's decisions that have got to be made in the summer transfer window, of what players we're going to recommend in and what players we're going to get rid of. I think the likely players that are going to leave is Phil Jones. I think we're going to get rid of Chris Smalling and Rojo on permanent transfers. Delors, Solskjaer's determined to keep him, but he did say the other week that Barcelona and PSG wanted him. Also, too, uncertainty over Pogba's future, like I mentioned. I expect Jesse Lingard and Andres Pereira to leave the football club. The news on Alexis Sanchez. The Inter Milan sporting director recently confirmed that Sanchez will stay at Inter Milan for the rest of the season. Then Inter Milan could consider getting him permanently, depending on how he performs. So that's a positive news from our perspective, because we don't want Alexis Sanchez back at Manchester United, because Sanchez did endure a difficult 18 months at the football club, don't forget, and he failed to rediscover the form of what he produced at Arsenal and Barcelona when he was younger and that, but we don't want Sanchez back at the football club. But like I said, his wages were having a really bad effect on the club, because Sanchez's wages at Man United were 400 grand a week, potentially rising up to 500 grand a week based on the image rights and the bonuses and that. So there you go. So Angel Gomez as well. I expect him to leave Manchester United at the end of next month when his current contract does expire, unless we can get him a new contract. I was reading the news regarding Angel Gomez earlier on this week, and it did say, we'd made a final contract offer for Angel Gomez. It said we'd offered him around 1.5 million a year, for him to stay at Manchester United. But we have put forward quite a few contract offers for Angel Gomez, but obviously, he has turned them down. Angel Gomez did admit that he's frustrated with Solskjaer, for his picking of 3 players. And that's obviously Pereira, Lingard and Juan Mata. Recently as well, he named his 3 idols, and that was Ronaldo, Tevez and Nani. But Angel Gomez has only made 6 first team appearances for the football club this season and that. And obviously clubs are in for him. Chelsea have been in for him, Arsenal have been in for him, also too Barcelona have been in for him. So there you go. So we are definitely going to get rid of players in the summer transfer window. Obviously, a lot of players have left anyway since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended into the football club. I think Solskjaer's got rid of 19 players in total since he got recommended in. Obviously, around 89 senior players left and around 10 players left as well. 10 young players left as well. So I do, credit him for that. But like I said, the summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's fourth transfer window as Manchester United manager. His fourth transfer window as Manchester United manager in that. And I did say, didn't I, Solskjaer does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows because he's still in the process of rebuilding this Man United team. And I did say, he does deserve at least another season at the football club. And if it doesn't work out next season, that's when I would get rid of Solskjaer. Like I said, it is a transition period, and like he revealed at the beginning of the year, he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period in that, but it has been a transition period for quite some time. Yes, it has in that. It has been a transition period for quite some time, and I think, Solskjaer still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United like he did do last summer, but Solskjaer knows he's got the backing of Ed Woodward, because Ed Woodward has said quite a few times this season he's willing to back Solskjaer. Also, too, the Glazers, recently revealed their stance on Solskjaer, and, they're also willing to back him as well, are the Glazers, And don't forget, the Glazers have got no intentions of selling the football club. I think it revealed last year that they had talks with the Saudi Arabians. The Glazers have been at Man United 15 years. And I think it revealed that we've paid approximately 1.5 billion, for the privilege of being owned by the Glazers and that. But we've been very, very critical of the Glazers. We've also been very, very critical of Ed Woodward and that, because Woodward's been here since 2012. So I think this has now been his 8th year at Manchester United, Woodward's. But the main explanations why we're being critical of Ed Woodward is because it's reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been in the last 6 or 7 years. It's also being criticised, for us overpaying for players in recent years, because we've definitely not overpaid for players in recent years, but we have. And his poor selection of managers. So these are the reasons why Ed Woodward has been criticised in that. But obviously, me and a lot of Manchester United fans have obviously, been very, very critical of Solskjaer for the vast majority of this season and that, So there you go. And like I said before the football season got suspended, we was in a good vein of form, because don't forget, we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions, and Solskjaer will be under pressure to keep this good run of form up for when the football season does resume. I've got to make an admission, Solskjaer has promoted the youth very, very well. Some of the young players have been given their chances and that, which is good, but some of the young players, found their appearances limited at the football club. Like I said, his approach to the big games this season's been very, very good, because we've registered 17 points against the big six sides this season, don't forget. So there's definitely no positives to take from his tenure so far. And Solskjaer's been here 17 months. He's been here nearly a year and a half now. And it's including, the 3 months when he was the interim manager. We give Solskjaer the job permanently, reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager and that. So there you go. And like I said, there's decisions we have got to make. There's decisions we have got to make before the season that resumes. And there's probably decisions we've got to make ahead of next season as well. Obviously, we're facing a dilemma at left back. Who's going to be our first choice left back next season? Is Luke Shaw going to remain our first choice left back, or is Brandon Williams going to be our first choice left back and that? I think we've made the goalkeeping decision already. We've made that decision already. David De Gea is going to remain our number one goalkeeper for next season, but he has been our number one for several years as David De Gea. In regards to Dean Henderson, we've already said, we will allow him to remain at Sheffield United until the end of the season. So we're willing to extend his loan. We'll probably loan him back out for next season anyway, because David De Gea is going to be remaining our number one. But Dean Henderson has been a revelation for Sheffield United. So that decision has already been done in regards to the goalkeeping. Like I said, next season, will Lindelof and will it be Lindelof alongside Harry Maguire as a centre-back partnership, or will it be someone else alongside Harry Maguire as a centre-back partnership? Because there's still reports emerging out saying that we want to recommend the centre-half in the summer transfer window. But Solskjaer's already identified the areas in the squad anyway where he does want to strengthen up and that. So let's just put that into the equation. Like I said, we've got to make a decision on Angel Gomez's future. We've got to make a decision on Pogba's future and that, you know. So there's decisions that do need to be made. Maybe Solskjaer needs to work out his best 11. Maybe needs to work out his best 11. Maybe needs to work out his best formation because he has been changing formation persistently this season. You know, like I said, I think we look more expansive with 3 at the back. I really, really do. And that. But it's good, you know, that Solskjaer, I know, has tried quite a few different elements. So, you know, there's decisions that Man United have definitely got to make. By the way, we are the richest club in England and we're the second richest club in the world, just behind Real Madrid. I think it got revealed that way with around 2.84 billion or something like that. So, yeah. You know, and I think Solskjaer, you know, has still got around, is it 2 years left on his Manchester United contracts. But I don't know anyway if he is the foreseeable future. As you all know, the Premier League is resuming on the 17th of June, which is very, very good news. I think it's around 3 weeks, is it, away now until the season resumes. And the Premier League is going to be ending on the 25th of July. I think European games are going to be played in August. Don't forget, dates for the FA Cup got announced yesterday. The quarterfinals will be on the 27th and the 28th of June. The semi-finals will be on the 18th and the 19th of July. And the final will be on the 1st of August and that. But it's good that football's coming back because the Premier League has been suspended for around 10 weeks now. It's been suspended since the 13th of March. The last game we played was 5-0 against Lask. Solskjaer did say, reflecting on that, you know, Man United will be able to play behind closed doors and that. And I think games are going to be played behind closed doors for a very, very long time. I really, really do. But, you know, we've got priorities when the season resumes, you know, because we're chasing that top 4. Also, too, the FA Cup and the Europa League is a priority for us because, you know, that's a chance of us getting some silverware on the board. It really, really is. And if we could win them, or even at least one of them, then it would be a memorable first full season for Solskjaer and that. So there you go. Obviously, you know, earlier on today, I gave you the news on Javi Hernandez as well, because he was talking at Rio Ferdinand's locker room on YouTube, and he was talking about, you know, he was criticising Man United appointing Moyes, and he was talking about his time and that at the football club. So give that recent video a watch as well, you know. But we need to stick with Solskjaer for now, like I mentioned. So there you go. You know the news on Sancho already. I give you the news on him earlier on today. He wants to leave Dortmund. You know the news on Jack Grealish. You know. So more or less, you know, I've kept you up to date of, you know, what's been going on and that. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.